Hello there, and welcome to my first video on SCP Site Roleplay. This video is going to be a pretty extensive guide on everything. We're going to start with roles, then we're going to go into a map of everything, and then we're going to talk about the SCPs, and on the map I will show where the SCP is when we get to it. So without further ado, let's get into it. Shall we? Okay, so as you just saw on the title card, we're going to be going over the basics of every role. So the first up is D class. D class spawn in one of these cells right here, and you can either go to the CDC hub, and it's huge, and you can either go for a test over here, or escape through there, or there's a vent through there. Once again, I'll show everything later in the video, but that's just the complete and utter basics of it. So that's the basics of Class D. Next up is my personal favourite role, the Scientist Department. This department will spawn in here and will have to travel to the CDC, and its goal is to test on D-Class on certain SCPs, and I love it. I think it's my favourite role in the game. That's literally the basics of it. I'll show everything later, but you know, you'd come pick up Class D's from here. And that's the basics of Scientist. Alrighty, so as you can probably tell from my rank, I've literally never even touched this role. I know what it does and how to play it, I've just never done it myself because I thought it'd be boring. Basically, the medical department, they can't have guns or anything, and their main goal is to just go heal people. If there's a SCP that's breached, you can go help MTF. If someone's hurt during an experiment and they need healing and they're not just going to be terminated in the future, you can heal them. That's basically the basics of medic. It's not really much. I can show you where you would go.
Access granted.
This door, and you go up this door. You can go down to the tram line, and that'll take you wherever you want in the facility. But this takes you to 2 council rooms, which is basically just like a talk for the Class D's, I think, from what I know. And this is just all council rooms. I've never seen any of these used, like, ever. Most people that I know just, you know, there's the ER hallway here.
Access granted.
Again, literally nothing. This is emergency care, but no one cares, honestly. No one ever uses this ever.
Access granted.
Access hall here. You know, you can go down here. And then, you know, honestly, I'm not even gonna lie to you right now. Never even touched this role. I'm just making a bunch of stuff up. I've never played this role in my entire life because I've always found it stupid boring. I don't even know where to go. Let's have a look and see if we can find it together.
Access granted.
There we go. Yes, that's the med center where it spawned. Yeah, I guess that's the basics. Okay, so next up is Security Department. And this department spawns in the armory, where they'll have to walk out of this room, and they'll be met with all these, and you'll have to go down to here. This will take you down to Con 1, where you can actually do your job. Your main job as a security department isn't actually to, you know, defend against the SCPs. That's mainly MTF, who we'll get onto in a minute. Your main role is to escort Class D's and Scientists to their tests, and, you know, make sure nothing goes wrong with them. And also, you can help with SCPs as well, but your main role is just to maintain order throughout the facility. and if there's a breach or something, try and make sure any scientist or class, well, maybe not class Ds, but mainly scientists are safe and in breach shelters or nuke shelters or wherever is necessary. And that is the basics of security. Alrighty, so next up we have Alpha 1. Again, not a role I've played, but a role I know how to play, unlike the medical. Alpha 1 in the SCP lore is the MTF that are used mainly to guard the O5, or used, you know, to guard extremely important things. In this game, they've got a standard gun, bandages, an even better gun, don't know the names, a riot shield, and the keycard. So they're basically just your standard MTF. This is the only MTF I believe where you need at least level 3 access, which is interesting. But yeah, what you do, this is going to go for basics of all MTF. I'll do a short segment on all of them, but it'll be really short. This will be the main one explaining the MTF. You spawn here instead of in the security, and you'd go up here, and you basically just be a security guard until SCPs break out. When SCPs break out, it is the MTF's goal to grab all that you need and, well, go and secure the SCP. Simple as that. That's the main basics of MTF, and I'll quickly go over what all the other MTF units do. Alrighty, next up we have MTF Beta 7. Probably the simplest one in the game. You know, they've just got the standard guns and bandages and everything. They are used in the SCP lore for containing biological hazards, like for example SCP-008, who is sadly not in this game. But when things like SCP-610 are added, this will mainly be what they're used for. But and here's her outfit, pretty cool, I guess. But yeah, that's kind of it for Beta 7. Next up we have MTF Epsilon 11, probably the most known MTF unit. This is used for internal security, or basically just normal containment measures. You know, if someone who you'd maybe consider to be normal in the SCP Foundation, like 17396, you know, more humanoid things, this is who they'd send in to deal with that. You know, same things, same stuff. That's basically it, you know, same drill. Alrighty, so finally we have MTF NU7. These are used for basically catastrophic events when, you know, communication is basically lost with a certain site, possibly due to, you know, multiple SCPs breaking out and multiple site staff being killed. So, yeah. Again, basically all MTF are the exact same, other than uniforms and Alpha 1 because they get a riot shield. But yeah, that's basically it. Let's move on to where everything is located. Okay, so now we're going to have a tour around the entire facility, and don't worry, this will be in parts, so if you want a tour of one area, you can skip to it. And we're going to be starting with the CDC, the Class D containment. So we're going to start with the cell block, because that's where they spawn. So they can spawn in any of these cells when they spawn in the game, and you have to come here and down there where the things are. There are a few different things though. For example, we've got CDC Solitary. I can't open that, but I'm pretty sure that can be opened by MTF, and that is basically they can be sent there if they're too bad on a server, and it's like a punishment. You've got this guy who I've completely forgotten the name of, and basically if you grab a crowbar, which I'm not going to right now, you can break open this vent and you can escape as a Class D, but you can only escape into the vents. So it's pretty simple to escape as Class D. So yeah, and then you enter the main CDC hub. There are loads of chairs where you can sit down and, I don't know, talk with your buddies or something, waiting for a test. There's some training things here, which you can't actually use, but you know, I guess it's a gym. There's a canteen here. You can sit here, but again, I don't think you can't get any food from here, so it's kind of pointless. Here is another thing, another escape option. Okay, he didn't say anything. So there's a vent map here, which you can pick up, and with a crowbar, which you can find over here, right there, over there. You can break open that, and that will take you to the sewers. And that is another way to escape. Over here we have the recreation, and in here you can box. So basically, as a Class D, when you're in this area, you get a fist, which you can use to punch other Class Ds. So you can have like mini fights in here. And then there's excavation, which, from my knowledge, I don't think has a use other than looking pretty. I don't think there's an escape option through here or anything. It just looks nice. You might be able to pry this open with a crowbar actually, but I'm not actually too sure about that. But that is basically an entire trip through the CDC. It's compared to the facility, it's not very big, but you know, if I was a Class D here, I wouldn't be complaining about this. I'd be very happy about this. So we're gonna move on to just outside the CDC, but not going into the Containment 1 yet. So we've got the access hall, which allows us to see into both of these, and obviously on both sides you have the briefing rooms, which you use to take your Class Ds. There's also a button here which makes that noise, and it will make enter for testing appear on here. There's a contraband disposal. I don't think it has a use. I guess Class Ds can put stuff in there, but I don't think there's even contraband in this game, so kind of pointless. Right here we've got all the SCPs contained in Containment 1. Obviously loads of safes, a few Euclids and one Keter. So now we've got this, the solitary console. So this is what people use to put some people in solitary, and they have to have a good reason for it, otherwise they can be banned for abusing. And then there's this screen, which is scattered throughout the entire facility. It tells you how high of a threat the facility is in, if there's any problems, CDC zone, that will tell you like if there's Class D riots or something. Alarm history, that will tell you in the past if there's been, I don't know, SCPs breaking out of things. And site broadcast, I'll show that in a second. Over here we've got the science lab, which I'm going to show real quick.
Granted.
This is where the scientists spawn, my favourite role in the game. So we've got a massive map of the entire facility here. Oh, on both sides, I didn't really realise they were on both.
Granted.
And here is the testing lab, another one of them. There is this, but I'll let you guys read that in your own time. If you want to pause it, you can. Cold storage. These places really aren't used for anything. We've got these, pretty nice. There's a water fountain here. And then there's the high energy particle lab, which sounds really cool. And then it's just nothing. It doesn't go anywhere. It's just, yeah, it's just kind of there. But yeah, you wouldn't go there as a scientist nearly ever. You just come down here. And right next to here is the med center, where the medical department is spawn. So we're gonna have a look around here. We've got the waiting room here.
Access granted.
Which is obviously where you wait, and this takes us out to Con 1. There's med center there. So this is where they come in and get treated on. So there's emergency care there, and there's a biohazard treatment. So technically, if you wanted to go really, like, really badly, I've got the word roleplay, then you can do that. This is where you treat patients. I've literally never seen anyone use this ever. Oh yeah, I forgot, you can use an SCP-500 in here. That will instantly cure anyone. So, technically, I guess I can't open that. But yeah, technically, if you wanted to, like for example, if someone's been with SCP-330, you technically could cure them, but I don't really see why you would. It's kind of useless, isn't it? Go on this here, and if you think I'm guessing, you're completely right. I have no idea. No idea what's happening. Maintenance tunnels, I can show them later. They're pretty interesting. Yeah, these first parts don't really have anything interesting to them. It's later where we'll start seeing the interesting things.
Access granted.
Right, so in this hub, there's still some more things. You can get radios for Class Ds right there. If you go this way, you've got upper deck access. Once again, a thing I've literally never seen anyone use ever. I'll admit, it looks pretty nice. Pretty sure up here you can view the CDC. Yep, that's pretty cool. Pretty nice. It's got this massive viewing deck up here. Oh wow, I didn't realise there was CCTV here. Oh nice. Yeah, sorry about that. I swear the cameras are just super laggy. I don't know why. There's a lot of CCTV cameras. I've never seen this area before. And the CDC entrance, but I'm pretty sure that just takes us back. Nope. It just takes us the other way around. So, that's all we've got to see here. Now we're going to move on to Con 1. So, we're going to start, not actually in Con 1, moving straight to the maintenance tunnels, which you may think are boring, which sometimes they are. But they do hold some important things. Like, for example, if we turn to the right here. Oh, not this. Never mind, I'm wrong. There's a maintenance closet here, I guess. Yeah, just kind of pointless. Yeah. There's a vent here, so the Class Ds and Chaos can come through it. That's about it. These maintenance closets don't do anything. Oh, look at that. Look how boring that is. Look how boring that is. These do though, these mean a lot. Generators, these are very important. Okay, so there's a bunch of things you can interact with here, but these generators, so look, we can tell us here. Generators use coolant pumps located. If those are destroyed, these generators get destroyed, and that it means a few things. Number one, SCP-106 can escape, and number two. The lights will go out. They're really annoying. I'll let you read that if you want to. But yeah, this room can be a very simple way for the what you name the Chaos Insurgency to get in. Coolant pumps, I'm pretty sure damage you when you go in. Yep. Yep. It's just kind of this. I'm getting out of here so I don't die. And that's really all you need to know about the maintenance tunnels. There's not really much else. As you saw with the medical department, there is that there is that one elevator that leads you here. Don't really know why you do that, but you can if you like. But now let's get on to the nitty gritty stuff, the things that actually matter, which is Con 1. And we're showing this before we actually go investigate with the SCPs. So this is Class D containment. If we take forward, we've got 207 and 1139. We're going to take a left here. We've got 714. We're going to take another left. And we've got the control room, which is a pretty important room.
Access granted.
Wow, it only need level 0 to actually get in here. So you can't actually do anything in this room. But if you go down this elevator, this is where all the crazy stuff happens. First off, we've got nuclear protocol. So if you are in 05, you can activate this, and if you want to, you can activate the nuke, which is pretty interesting. Yeah, I'll let you guys read that if you want to. There are lots of just loads of things. For example, we've got this, which I'll let you guys read. You know, if you pause, it tells you when you should use these certain alarms. So yeah, there's lots of CCTV cameras. Admin zone, I've never seen anyone use this ever. It's offices, like no one cares. I'm sorry if you do care, but I don't know anyone who cares. You don't come down to the control room to see that. You come down to see this. So, oh damn it, what is up here? A meeting room? Really? Does that really matter? No. Okay, well I guess you know that exists. Anyway, so you got a massive map of the whole facility, and you can activate these alarms. So, for example, for that, Class D breach, and turn off. There we go, but there's a cooldown, so you can't just spam it. You've got cameras here, and the threat levels. So, for example, if we put it on. It tells us there's a threat level of medium and a threat level high. So now it's high, and then there's low. There we go, there's low. So you can control that from the control room. Keep in mind that if you overuse these for no reason, you will be banned. So don't just come in here and randomly start clicking buttons. It's mainly used for 05 personnel to be in there. So if you're a level 0 scientist or something, you probably shouldn't be touching that. Got 148 right here, and if we take a left from the control room, we get SCP. Oh no, never mind, I was wrong. We get entrance zone. Yay, more absolutely useless things I get to show you guys. Yippee. Atrium, I guess. Honestly, it's just like, yay. What the heck? What is that? I've never seen this before. I've never seen that. Wow. You learn, even when you're teaching, you learn something new every day. Checkpoint, you know, it's just a checkpoint, doesn't really matter. Yeah. And then you come out here. And it's entrance, yay. Yippee. Oh, look at that. Wow, we got 2 things. Oh snap, that's crazy. Oh, no one really cares. That just leads to the maintenance tunnel. Yep. I guess this will be a perfect time to show you the tram. Hopefully. So, we're gonna wait here for this tram. Oh yeah, I forgot. There's sewers there, which Class C's can escape from. Forgot to mention that. But this tram is going to arrive in a minute. It comes around the entire facility, and most people don't know about it. Even if it's on the menu screen, most people forget that it exists, which I find pretty funny. But it is helpful. Like, due to the fact that no one remembers it, it is a very easy way to escape. I remember triggering 9.6 accidentally as a Class D in Con X, because I got that far, and because all the MTF were distracted, I found the tram. They never found me, and I escaped through that sewer. So like, yeah, no one remembers the tram. So if you're thinking of a quick and simple way to get here, then you know you're in luck, because the tram is really good. We're gonna wait a bit because it'll only take around 20 seconds for it to arrive. But after this, I'll show Con 1 fully. Con 2, which I think has. I think Con 2 is just Con 2. I can show you the nuke shelter and breach shelter there, but that's about it. Con X, again, is just Con X, and Lower Con X is also just Lower Con X, I believe, if I'm remembering right. Right, here it comes. Here it is. Here we are. It's going to open up eventually. Takes its time. There we go. Let's move into Armory. That's a perfect place, because that's still in Con 1. So it's going to close its doors and it's going to go. And it's really cool. I like it. I really like it. I think it's a bit too forgotten. But yeah, it's nice. I'm not sure if I'm going to cut this out or not. I don't think I will. I think it's nice to show the entire tram. Yeah, see where it goes. And it can go to Armory, Medical. I know it can go just outside Con X. I'm not actually sure where else it can go. I think it can go to CDC. But it can go a lot of places. It's quite helpful. But nice. Now we can, yeah, see, you can move to checkpoint when the door eventually opens. There we go. Right, let's show Armory then. So, Armory, hello buddy. When will the Armory reopen? Oh, that's fine. Right, so, this is the Armory. This is where, wait, can I do this? This is where security department spawn and the MTF spawn. If we go down here, it takes us just outside Con 1, and there are some things that they can grab. You know, there's guns there, a shield, a crowbar, a ventilation map. Yeah, there's loads of things. Ooh. Huh. Alright, we're just gonna cut to me being outside the Armory door, because I'm about to do something malicious. Told you I was amazing. Got out of Armory. Took me 4 seconds. Alright, so the only things you missed are 1499 just next to entrance. See? And Breach Shelter, which I don't think I've ever actually been in. Just kind of this. Yeah. I don't think anyone even uses it, but if it, I wouldn't be shocked if they don't. Down there is Class D containment. That was the term made to 714. Right here is 178. So if we keep going forward and turn, this is where most SCPs are. So we've got 498, 1193 and 403. I think right here is 517. Yep. 860. 224. Down there, down this turn right here is 1025 there. And right around there is 999. Con 2, which we'll get to in a minute. 087. 120. Med Center, which was shown. 902. See, there's 999 over there. 330. And that is an entire quick tour of Con 1. So, let's move on to Con 2, which starts right here. Now, this authorize thing, you can authorize them, which allows them to enter Con 2 without basically being shot. And once again, it tells us who's in here. So let's take a tour. So, as soon as we go in, if you take a left, we have the nuke shelter. This is where you'd go if a nuke was going off. So you bring the elevator down. There is a ladder there, just in case you miss it. It takes us all the way down here, all the way down here, to here. And there's a metal door here. When the nuke is going off, and it's about to go off, like there's 10 seconds left, this door will close. And you also get an achievement if you're down here when the nuke goes off, so that's pretty cool. It looked quite nice down here. Yeah, that's all I can really show about the nuke site. It's a pretty nice place. I have survived the nuke by going there once. It's quite nice. So yeah, if we go right from here, nothing's on this alley here, but if we turn left, boom, we've got 035 right there, the possessive mask. Right there, well, not there, sorry, here. Over there, right there, is 008. And right here we've got 409. So yeah, if we keep going this way from the side, nothing's on this hallway, but there is something right here. Yeah, that's a 093, and 173's there. If we turn this way, it brings us to a dead end with 701 there and 1162. Yeah, 1162. If we go down this hallway here, we've got 2059. And I'm just showing this freeze of things. Down there where that white light is, that's where we entered. So down, if you go forward from the start, there's nothing here. And you can take a left or a right. The right takes you to 409, like I said. The forward takes you, the right takes you to 409. The forward takes you to 2059 and 173 and all them. And if we take a left, nothing's here. And also nothing's here. And there's a containment X here, and a breach shelter there, and there's also SCP that, which is it. And that's all it's here. It's quite small and simple. I'll show you the breach shelter, but I'm pretty sure it's the X here. Yep, basically the same. Right, Connex time. Alright, so Connex has a lot here. We've got the tram there, which you can go to. This way is where personnel go. But if you're taking tests, then you'd go this way. So you'd walk in, you'd ask them, you know, oh, can we do a test on yada yada? And then if they say yes, you'd come on in. And again, there's another authorized panel there. The security booth, this is where security teams would come in. And they'd either go here to ask for a badge, you know, for personnel entering. And another one would go here. Another one would go here to say, yep, you can do this test, or no, you can't do this test, things like that. Just a letter here. If you want to read that, you can. Right, Connex. So, if we take a left from the start, we've got 049. If we keep on moving, on the right here, we should have 939. Yep, right there, 939. And 2006, one of my favourites in this game. We go this way, there's nothing in this hallway here except the nuke, which is, well, it's a bit obvious, isn't it? It's where you start the nuke. Nuke room right here, we've got our lovely nuclear weapons here. So right here, see, warhead's going to be detonated when there are 3+ SCP breaches. Nuclear abuse will commit with heavy consequences. So this is mainly where O5s go, because, you know, most of the time when something happens, they really want to fire a nuke, and they go, oh, we should fire the nuke, and everyone's like, no, don't. But yeah, over there we've got SCP-017, and here we've got lower Connex, but just right over there, if you can see the door there, that's 457.
Hello?
That's 939.
Is someone there?
Now we've got lower Connex, which is the big bad. So there's a massive elevator here which we're going to take, but if you really don't want to take it, there is a very long flight of stairs on both sides. Oh no, never mind, it's just on one side. But you know, we're not weird, so we're taking the cool elevator all the way down to lower floors, which has the smallest containment in the game, but I still think it's the coolest. Like the Ennard fight music here as well, which is pretty nice. So then we open up and we make a left. We've got SCP-106 there and 96 there. And if we keep going this way and we take a left, we have SCP-610, who's not actually been added yet. And all the way down there is SCP-076, which you can only get if someone buys a 076 ticket, which is quite fun when it does happen. But that is the entire tour of the facility. So now I'm going to introduce my D-class friend, and we're going to start actually talking about testing the SCPs and what they do, breaching the SCPs, and containing the SCPs, which is most likely what you came here for. Alright, so Now we're going to move on to the SCP testing phases and showing how to test on SCP, but mainly what their effects are. And after this, I'll let my D class show you how to. Well, I'll tell him how to, but he'll show you how to break out all the SCPs. But starters, we're just going to show all the SCPs. So this is going to be Mr. P_60, who is jumping for some reason, and yeah, he's going to be our test subject, showing us all this. So give him a warm welcome while we move into SCP-207. Alright, so first up we have SCP-207. So if my test subject walks in there and interacts with SCP-207, which is the cola bottle, as you can see, he's running, but he's not actually running while using the running button. So as you can see, he's sprinting around the room right now. And if we let him out of his containment cell, you know, he's running around even more. He's going crazy and things like that. And this sounds great, you know. Oh wow, I could use this a lot on MTF and be a speed demon forever. And da da da. That's not exactly the case. As if we wait with our D class for a moment while he runs around being ecstatic. He's stopped running around now. I've no idea why. Don't really know what he's trying to do. Don't know if he's typing in chat or something, being a bit strange. But you know, he's running. He's running. Hopefully it kicks in soon. I don't want to have to cut out too much of this segment. You know, he's still running around. I'll probably cut to the part where he starts taking damage. Bro, how are you not taking damage? Okay, so it appears that he's not actually taking any damage just yet. But basically, what is meant to be happening is that after some time, he will start taking. I don't know why I did that. He will start taking damage and eventually die. So if you're being MTF and thinking of using it, please don't. It will only hurt you. So yeah, that's SCP-207. Next up is SCP-1139, which is the Pillar of Random Words. Nothing happens while our D class is in there. If he touches it, nothing happens. The changes come when we start putting volts and currents on it. I don't know why you opened that door. If we put an alternate current and he touches it, he will start saying random text. I can't exactly remember if it's random or it's when he puts something in chat. No, it's random. See? Random chat. He can still, and also, something else, the chat box is removed. So you can't actually chat in chat, which is pretty cool. If, however, he touches it with direct current on, there will be some changes. Mainly, he will start taking damage every time he says something. Like, if we watch it and he comes in the window, see, he said something and lost, what was that, 10 health? Yes, 10 health. Where's that 10 health? I could tell if he stopped moving. Yeah, it was 10 health. Right, and that's all that SCP-1139 does. Personally, I think it's one of the most underrated SCPs, and I'd love to see more scientists talking about him in the game. So, yeah. Right, next up is SCP-714, which is a green ring. If our D-Class takes the green ring, does our D-Class have the ring on? Yeah, I'm assuming that means yes. So, if we go outside, you know. So, what SCP-714 is resists effects of normal SCPs. The problem is, what can't you do, Mr. Class D? Wow. Alright, well, clearly our Class D is not the brightest in the world, because he doesn't realise that he just said he can't walk, and then starts walking. I don't know who I've just got on this, but he's not the smartest in the pack. There we go, he's corrected himself. Yes, with 714 on, you can't sprint. This can cause a bit of problems. However, if you return back to 714, they can return it. And you should be able to sprint again. There we go. Alright, let's move on. Alrighty, next up we have SCP-148, which looks like 3 green ingots. This is one that was pretty difficult for me to tell what it does, but I think I know now. Well, I think I do know what it does now. So, if our Class D enters this up and interacts with SCP-148, now, as a scientist, you're not going to notice anything abnormal happening. And even if he continues to touch SCP-148 constantly, he keeps walking into it, nothing happens. But 2 main things will happen when they start touching SCP-148. 1, the Class D's vision will go blurry. And you may think, oh, okay, that's fine. I can ask them this in chat and see if they'll, answer my questions. But there's SCP-148's second effect. It removes your chat box. So you can't actually do this. So, yeah. Our Class D is just kind of... it's just a bit confused and a bit lost, yeah. Well, that's SCP-148. We're moving on to the next one. Alrighty, so next up we have SCP-1499. Now to do a test on this one, you're going to need to authorize the Class D's radio. So, you click on username, you click what you want to have the radio, and you click the reason. So, my reason would be, wants to investigate SCP-1499. And then you click give radio. I can't speak. So, right now, you should have a radio. And this radio, if we talk into it, if our Class D talks into it, with it on, we should be able to see it. I'm not sure why. There we go. It's because I was on SCP communications. So right now, you've got a new tab, Class D communications, and you can see what he's saying. So, if we let him in the containment room, if he would move, you got SCP-1499, and they interact with SCP-1499. They can now tell us, what they see. So you can turn your radio on and start asking questions. Like, for example, what do you see? Oh, snap. There we go. CD Mr. P.60 radio communication. Did you reset? Okay, sorry about that. Thought he reset. Nope, he just died. Yeah. He can't last very long. Basically, in 1499, there are I think there's 2 or 3 monsters that can kill you. They run pretty fast, but, and they kill you pretty fast as well. But, that's an issue with testing 1499. Most Class Ds just die instantly. And that's 1499 test. Okay, so next up is SCP-178, which is the glasses, the 3D glasses. So to start this test, I forgot to mention on all the other tests, but I'll mention it here. You always want to tell the Class D, you're going to be, I'll type it in chat just to make it easier. You are going to be tested on, it's in caps for some reason, sorry about that. You are going to be tested on SCP and SCP, just say whatever SCP you're testing on. And then you've got to say, do not interact with SCP until told to. Just tell them that, just so they don't. So yeah. Also, something I forgot to mention. The reason I've been putting these at the start of each one is because you're technically supposed to follow these. Testing is obvious. Cross-testing means that you can bring an SCP into another SCP and cross-test them. That's the maximum of Class Ds. This is the minimum level a scientist has to be to test on this SCP. And this is the minimum security you're supposed to have. Right, so, if we go, let our little Class D in. You want to, tell them to put on the glasses. There we go. And SCP-178 makes it so they will start to see people around you. Now, I'm pretty sure one spawns in this room, so they'll probably tell you things like, there's one behind you, or there's people around me, or monster, yeah, like that. They don't really do anything. Like, for example, if this person tells me where it is, I think it's right here. It's just not really doing anything to me. But if the person with SCP-178 touches one of these, oh, there we go, it's behind you. If this, look at that, instantly died because it just got absolutely clawed to death. And that is how you perform a successful 178 test. Also, something I forgot to mention. Damn, 178 is just filled with stuff. You always want to ask some questions and stuff. Like, for example, let's take 1139, the pillar that we were talking about. You don't want to just go in and go, right, touch this, I'm going to turn this on, da-da-da. You want to go, right, what do you see? What's on it? And you want to ask as many questions as possible. Because you're here for a scientist. You want to learn as much as you can. And if you go out of that test thinking, yeah, but what if this happened? Test it. Do it again. That's the whole point of scientists. That's what makes it so fun to me. Anyway, that's 178. Okay, so next up we have SCP-498, which is an alarm clock that will progressively get louder and louder if not turned off. Now, this mechanical arm right here, this automatically turns off SCP-498. So, if we let our Class C in, nothing's really going to happen because look, that mechanical arm turns it off. Damn. Oh, that's the SCP on the next room. We're going to ignore that ringing sound. But if we mechanically turn the alarm, if we toggle the mechanical arm off, then SCP-498 is going to start getting louder and louder, to the point where our Class D is going to start taking damage. And it's also going to get to a point where we're going to be able to hear it from outside. Like, someone walking past here will be able to hear SCP-498 and start taking damage. So it can be a problem if not maintained. See, he's getting annoyed. Oh, Class C is getting a bit irritated. It's going to get louder though. It is getting louder. It doesn't take that long for them to start taking damage. Yep, it is pretty badly hurt. We're going to wait until it actually starts taking damage though. It shouldn't take too long. But then again, I said that for SCP-207. And, yeah. Okay. Well, it appears that just none of the SCPs like me today. And that is SCP-498. Okay, next up is SCP-1193. That's it ringing right there. This is one of the weirdest SCPs in this game. You'll hear ringing, and we'll have to tell our Class D to go in and answer it. He's going to go and answer the phone, and as you can see, if we enter on with him, nothing really seems to be happening. But to our Class D, he's having an entire conversation with me. So your goal is, go in, say, we're going to be testing on SCP-1193, here's your rules. And then you're going to go, you're going to wait for them to finish, and then you're going to say, right, what did they tell you? And try and get as much information as you can from them. I'm not going to do that right here, but it's, just to basically showcase what it does. So we're going to wait, until our Class D finishes up. He's going to tell us when he's finished up. Jump if you finished up. Alrighty. And then you'd ask some questions. So that's SCP-1193. Alright, next up is SCP-403. So, SCP-403 is a lighter. And this lighter acts like a normal lighter for starters. We're gonna... Yeah, I didn't know if I could open it from there. We're gonna, tell our Class C everything that's happening and all the rules. And then we're gonna let them in. And we're gonna let them interact with SCP-4... Well, actually, normally, you'd ask questions like, what does it look like to you? And things like that. And then, after all that, all those questions, you'd ask them to interact with 403. Which he's gonna do right now. Okay, that's an example of what it might look like to someone. And then you're going to tell them, does it look any different or anything, and then you ask them to use it. And you see it works like a normal lighter. And then you'd see, did anything happen to you, do you feel fine, you'd ask them to use it again. You'd also ask them to be patient with it. So as you can see, it glows a bit brighter. And then you'd say, right, did you see any change or anything? And, you do all those questions. You'd ask them to do it again. And they blow up. And that's SCP-403. And you can ask questions and notepad them all and do all that stuff. But that's SCP-403. Okay, so now we have SCP-517. So as usual, you tell them, alright, we're gonna do this and this and this and this and this. Do you abide by these rules? Yeah. And then you'd enter. Oh yeah, it's a mental hazard. Good note. And then you'd enter it, and there's actually a button that you can let them in. So they'd interact with 517, sorry. And they get to pick some stuff, and they'll get a note which they can read. So, does he want to tell us what it says? He's not a very fast typer, so we might need to give him a sec. Says you will find out soon enough. I'm not actually sure what that means. This is one of those SCPs where there's a lot. Can you come on? This is one of those SCPs where you can do a lot of tests on them. Like a lot of tests on them. There's so many outcomes. So I guess we'll wait a bit and see what happens. But I'm not actually sure. I'm not actually sure what happens here. If it doesn't happen very quickly, then we'll just move on. But we'll wait a bit, I guess. Oh snap! What the what? Oh snap! He's being grabbed by. I didn't even know that was possible. What is happening? Oh my gosh! What is happening? Oh my! What? That's actually shocked me. Oh my gosh! That is one of the coolest SCPs here. Wow! Please test on this one more. That's SCP-517. Alrighty, next up is SCP-860, which, just like 1199, needs radios, so it can be a bit annoying. So if we go through this door, it is actually SCP-860, which we need our D-class to take. It's a blue key. Has he got it? Yep, he's got it. Great. He's going to come on out, and then we're going to take him in here to this door, and we're going to ask. Once again, going to give him a radio, and our reason is going to be testing, I cannot spell for the life of me, testing on SCP-A60, something along those lines. And you'd give them a radio. And so you'd switch your Class D communications, make sure it works, it does, and then you'd let them enter SCP-860 with the key. They'd enter that void, it closed behind you, and then you can ask questions. Like, for example, I don't know, what do you see? And that should... Did that go through? Oh, never mind. He's only messaged that because I'm sat right next to him. I didn't have my radio on. He shouldn't really have responded, but that was my problem. That was my bad. See, there we go. Now it comes through because I said something. He doesn't need to type it because he's already said it, but you know. So then you can ask multiple questions like, oh, I don't know. Here's one. Is there anything with you? You know, you can ask whatever questions you like. He said no, so he seems to be safe. Something like, tell me anything that happens. Or something like that. Oh, he says no, I think. So there could be something, you never know. But, you know, you'd ask them to tell you anything they hear, anything they see, multiple things. When you're not allowed to be there, actually there, you need to get as much information as you possibly can. Like, for example, sometimes if you're not getting anything, you just say, like, I don't know, any updates? And that basically just means, you know, if anything changed, any new sounds, anything else, or not. And, you know, you'll see what they say, and react to it accordingly. So we're going to wait until they say, no, just creepy sounds. So, you know, you've got to say something to everything. So, like, for example, no, just creepy sounds. What do they sound like? Please describe. Something like that. That was not very good typing, but it is what it is. So they're probably making a response, or dead. Oh no, because it will tell you when they're dead. Someone sneaking in the bushes. Okay. So I'll say something like, please tell me if you see them. Oh, it says as a sound. So, you know, sometimes you want to just let them wander, or because you don't know what's behind that door unless you've been D-class or you've gone into someone else. But you just want to, you know, let them experiment themselves and see what happens. So yeah, but that's going to be the end. Oh, white lights flicker sometimes. It's pretty cool. But yeah, that is going to be at SCP-860. Obviously, you can experiment with that loads, but we're not going to right now. So that's SCP-860. Next up is SCP-224, which is the first introduction of cameras. These cameras, be warned, are quite buggy on things that aren't PC. And if you don't have a good connection, it will most likely crash. So be very careful using them. Anyway, we're going to let our little buddy enter. And, you know, we're going to ask some questions and stuff. And the main thing is we're going to tell them... We're going to tell them not to interact with things until we tell them to. But basically, if they interact with 224, there you go, they turn really old. And they'll start saying old stuff. Basically. Me old, exactly. That's basically it. However, it says here, terminate non-compliant D-class. Unless you want to bring back this guy to the containment of the CDC, probably best to just terminate them. But that's 224. Next up, we have SCP-1025. So, obviously, again, you say all the questions you want, and then you enter here. Now, there's no actual button in here, which I completely forgot about. So you have to let them in using this button. Let them in. And then look, you tell them not to interact with 1025 just yet. And you ask the questions like, what does it look like and things like that. And then you tell them to interact with it. Now the main thing here is you tell them to interact with it, open it, and then you tell them to tell you what it says in it. So, not SCP. Our D class right here is going to tell you what it says. Not the entire thing, just, the main disease.
Oh.
So we're going to wait until he says that. Hopefully it doesn't take that long. Common cold. Right. So now they're going to put SCP-1025 down. Put it back in its containment, if that's even possible. Don't actually know if that's possible. It is, nice. And now, we're not going to wait symptoms ourselves, but you would wait for symptoms and you'd record them down and things. Now, this is another great one with tests, because I don't think there's as many options, but there are many diseases in SCP-1025 that you can investigate. So, that's great. But that's 1025. Next up, we have SCP-999. Now, yes, there are tests that can happen on it. You don't really have to ask questions. You basically, most people know who 999 is. You'd go, we're testing on 999, and everyone would go crazy. And also, SCP-999 is allowed to roam free. So, if it escapes containment, who cares? It's 999. It's adorable. Look at him. Okay, this D-Class has just threatened to take 999, and I will not have it. That's right, 999. You're safe. He just waved at me. That is the cutest thing I've ever seen. Moving on. Alrighty, next up we have SCP-914, one that everyone's basically aware with right now. Now this is probably the most test-worthy SCP you can do. I've brought a broom for our D-Class, he's going to put it in, the input. He's brooming. I don't think that's what he meant to do. So, okay, hang on a minute. It appears as a broom. Oh no, never mind. Sorry, our thing was just being weird. And now he's going to put it on a random setting that he wants to put it on. But most likely fine or very fine. Okay, he's going to put it on fine. And then you'd click the red button. You'd wait for an output. And then something would come out. Now, get ready, because if that is a gun, you have, and then click it, you have to terminate them. That's part of the rules of this SCP. So let's have a wait, just in case. It's coffee! Now, this is probably the SCP which has the most tests. Look, he can put that coffee in there if he wants to. I'm pretty sure. Yep, and he can test it again. This is just got so many possibilities. There's so many tests you can do on 914. It's insane. Let's do it again, just make sure it's not a gun. Ooh. Orange food. Let's see what happens when he eats the orange food. Anything happen or not? Nothing? Hold up, we're gonna wait for a response because he's still typing. It was illegal. Oh snap. I'll have to terminate you for that one, buddy. No, I'm joking. And that's 914. Please test on this SCP. There are so many outputs that you can have. Okay, now we have SCP-087, which I love to bits. If you don't remember what 087 is, what are you doing? What are you doing? It is the endless staircase. Now, for this one, you have to give them a radio, say reason. Testing on SCP-088. I can't type. Testing on SCP-087. You click get radio. And now I've got radio. Oh no, my legs are cramped. And that's it. Once I've got a radio and you've tested it works, so let's test it works, just literally type any random thing in chat. Fair enough, great. You let them in, and you make them click a flashlight. Yep. You test that flashlight works. Is the flashlight working? Are you sure it's... Try it out here. Oh no. Look, now look down. It's working? Great, it's working. So now you'd ask some questions and things like that. It's mainly better if you do it with comms, but I guess in a test it's fine. So you'd ask some things like, what do you see? I'm not going to do it right now. But, you know, ask them what you see and things like that, and ask them a bunch of questions. But 087 really only gets to kicker when you're talking in comms, because you're not really gonna be typing in chat when you see 087-1 sprinting towards you, or more rather just staring at you. Now, what I love about 087 is the fact that oh snap, the door just closed itself. But he's not getting out ever. Nope, he's gone. He's dead. Not yet, but he's going to die because the door's just locked itself. So eventually, our buddy is going to find ourselves face to face with SCP-087-1, which is going to be very fun. But yeah, there's not really much you can do for a test here. Just keep talking to them, and yeah. But this one really shines with comms, and that's 087. Alrighty, next up we have SCP-120, which is a little pool thing. So, you know, you want to tell them everything, like I've said a million times. And then it's another radio one, but it's not as bad as the one, so you'd say, you know, give them a radio, testing, on SCP-120. You know, you check if the radio works, just like everything else. They type something random in chat. Doesn't really matter, just to test if it works. Yep, it works. And then you'd ask them to enter SCP-120. And also, you'd ask them what colour it's turned, because it looks different to everyone, I'm pretty sure. So, you know, you'd ask them those questions, it's tell what you think. So then you jump in. Oh, it's gone. Okay, wait for it to come back then. I think for that you have to walk out. Oh no, sir, you can jump in. And then you'd ask them, you know, what do they see after? So, he's gone somewhere. And, we don't know where he's gone. But he can go into multiple places. This SCP teleports you in so many areas. Mainly the facility, but I'm pretty sure it can take you other areas. Which is quite cool. He teleported back. Oh, he's in there. Okay, this is the perfect time to do another test then, real fast. See where else it takes you. Yeah, I guess that's one of the places he can teleport you, right outside the damn room. So it's yellow now. So we can jump in, and we're going to see where it takes him. So, we're going to ask him, where's it taking him? So, buddy, so, you know, we'd ask him chat, where are you? And we'd ask him, where are you? And he'd tell us. The back room. I think what he means by that is maintenance tunnels. So that's one of the areas it can take you. But yeah, again, another SCP with loads of areas, and it's great. So, that's it for SCP-120. Alright, next up is SCP-902, Con 1's only Keter SCP. So, you know, you'd say other stuff, but you'd be more careful on this one because it is Keter. You know, the higher thing it is, the more careful you'd be with it. So you'd let them in. And you realise that it's like a box thing. By the way, that is closed, that's a bug with the door. I don't know what's wrong with it. So then you'd ask them to interact with it by basically opening it, you'd ask them, you know, what does it mean and stuff. And then they'd say, there is no object, there is an object, it has to be destroyed when the countdown stops. Basically, this SCP is a box with a ticking in it. We're doing great work, we have to be stopped. It is basically a box with ticking in it. And anyone who hears this ticking goes insane and goes, oh my god, we have to stop the ticking, we have to stop it. and it spreads pretty fast. And they'll basically just keep repeating that constantly. Now it says on here, terminate afflicted class D. So you know, don't really have a choice here, do we? Don't really have a choice. We have to terminate the class G. That damn corner, buddy. Yeah, I have to reload. There we go. And that's SCP-902. Moving on to the final one in Con 1. Alright, finally for Con 1 we have SCP-330. Again, you'd ask all the questions, and then you'd enter, you'd ask what questions you want to do. There's not a button in here. Let them in. And then you ask them, what does it mean, what is it, any questions you want to ask. Then you ask them to interact with it. You ask them to eat it, you tell them, is there any effects or anything? But as soon as they take more than 2, their arms fall off. Now the funny thing about this is, if they have a gun, they can still equip it. So they'll have a floating gun in their hand, just a fun little detail. It says here, afflicted class D can be treated. I'm not really sure how you treat it, but I'm not going to. I'm going to use a little different method I like to call gunning them down. And that is SCP-330 and the end of Con 1. Alrighty, so first one in Con 2, get back on that Class D line, buddy, is going to be SCP-035. So these ones you have to take a little bit more seriously. So you get on the line right now, Buster. So yeah, you'd have guards and stuff as always, and you'd cuff them, and you make them stand on the line until you go in the viewing area. Once you're in the viewing area, you'd tell them to enter, which they would, and then you'd ask them what they see and things like that, and then you'd ask them to interact with 035, and you'd see what happens. Put on the mask, starts going a little bit insane. Average TikTok user, every day they wake up without seeing TikTok for 10 seconds. And now there's 035, and as you'll notice, I was going to switch to the SCP team in a minute. There we go, he's on an SCP team. Now something to keep mindful of is they can break through this window. So if they come through here, on this crack bit here, they can start smashing it. And eventually they'll break it where you can shoot them. But you'll most likely die. So this can be very dangerous. This is why you need a lot of guards for this experiment. There is a lever in there which can terminate 035 for you, but we ignored that. So that's 035. Alrighty, so you may realise, hang on, we've just cut it to the next SCP. Where's the picture of all their stuff? Well, unless I'm blind or something, 008 doesn't really have one, which is annoying. Also, 008 needs level 5 access, which is insanely high. So, yeah. But you sign them up on there and you tell them what they're about to get into. And then you basically lock them in this room. You go in the viewing area, and you let them in. And, you tell them to interact with SCP-008 and things like that. And then they'd get infected by 008. You start to see changes in them, eventually. They'll start coughing. And you start seeing green spores on them, and boom, they're a zombie. Look at that. Now, luckily, look at that. Yeah, what's that say? Fuck. Just come to the window. Real quick. They've got 400 HP, but they lose 1 every second. So I'm not very good at combat. So you shouldn't do this without guards, but content, boys. Oh Jesus, I'm so bad at this. Oh God. Yeah. Yeah, you get infected. You do that. So I'm going to reset myself. And that is 008. Please do not do that in a normal server. You will 100% get a 008 infection. Alright, next up is SCP-409. Once again, an infection one, which can turn them into an SCP. So, you line them up and everything, with guards here. You need 2 security on this one. You go in the viewing area, there's 409 right there, and you'd let them in. You know, you ask them all the questions you want to ask them, then you'd let them interact with 409. And you'd start seeing changes pretty damn fast. Like, for example, them turning into a literal crystal. Now, I'm not going to wait the entire time, but in around 5 minutes, if you leave them infected, they will explode and turn into crystals. But if they touch anyone else, they will also become infected. So, watch me still die to this SCP. Watch me die. But I'm doing it for content, now that you understand what it does. Okay. You can see him at the wheel. I'm so bad at this is why I don't play MTF. Let's go! I did it! Let's go! Wasn't expecting that. Alright, and that's SCP-409 for you. Alright, next up we have SCP-093. So, you know, you get back on the line, buddy. So, you know, you tell them all everything, things like that while they're on the line. And then you bring them into the containment area. And yeah, you ask them anything you need to know, and then you tell them to interact with SCP-093. Oh, wait, hold up. Before they do that, this is another radio one. So you just say, like, something along the lines of testing on SCP-093. Yep, you test if it works. You just type something random. Yep, it works. And then you tell them to interact with it. And then you tell them with that to interact with the mirror. And they should teleport to a dimension. And I'm not going to right now, but you know, you talk to them and go, right, what do you see? You know, what do you hear? You ask them a bunch of questions. And right now they should be in some random dimension. I can't remember what it is. I'm pretty sure it's some farm. I'm not really sure. But yeah, I'm not even sure if you can recover them. You might be able to. But yeah, that's SCP-093, and that will be a successful test. Right, next up we have the ever-beloved 173. So what you do for this is you let them in there, and you lock them in, just like you... Oh wow, 173 also needs level 5, I didn't know that. But yeah, you let them in there, just like you did for 008. There he is, there's the P-note. And then you'd let them in here, and you'd watch them basically die instantly, because 173 in this game is cracked. He's super good. There you go. Where is he? There he is. Wow, he went from across the room to there in an instant. That's insane. But yeah, there's no need to ask questions. They're gonna die instantly as soon as you let them in there. So that's 173. Next up is SCP-2059, and you'll never guess what. It's a radio one! Yay! There's 2059. So we're gonna give him, you know, radio again, testing on SCP-2059. Give him radio, check if it works as usual. Works, and then you tell them to enter 2059, and once again you'll enter them. Yeah, once again you tell them, you'd ask them like, oh, well, what do you see, and things like that, and you know, you ask them But we've been through this a million times. Ones where you can't see them and you have to ask them questions through a radio are always extremely similar. The only difference is that some you need to take more precautions with, and some with this one you're not going to go like, oh, do you see, you know, do you see, I don't know, actually you can probably ask anything. If you don't know about the SCP, you can probably ask anything. Damn, I'm not sure. But the thing with SCP-2059, if you don't know, looks like a meatball, you're not wrong. Basically, it's inescapable. As soon as you've entered, you can never escape. You basically enter a stomach that has no exit. So he will eventually die. So that's SCP-2059. Right, next up is 701. Once again, another underrated SCP in my opinion. So once again, you tell them to step on the line. Like now. Thank you very much, buddy. And then, you know, you tell your guards and stuff, oh yeah, we're here with them, things like that, all the same things. You go to the viewing floor. And then you find a button to let them in. Right here. Oh no, that toggle's good, never mind. Guess you have to let them in this way. One of the things you can do is ask your guards to do it for you. Obviously, I don't have guards right now. You tell them to go in the theatre, and you can see. And right now, as you can see, we've toggled the curtains, so they can't see anything. It's probably best for people to pick the ones closer to the front, but you know, I guess if you pick that one, that's fine. So we're going to toggle the curtains, and it'll open them up. And you don't really need to ask them any questions because, well, you'll see what happens. So I'm just going to let it play out, basically. But there are things that possibly they can't see. But, yeah. So, basically, it's kind of like a show. But, I've not actually seen this one in action before. I think someone needs to sit in a chair. So, we'll test that now. Okay, it appears I was wrong. So we're going to ask our D class to get back in. Oh no, he's on the stage, so he feels compelled to perform. So, basically what it is that a D class will go on the stage, and they will have the urges to start performing. So, you know, because right now on his screen, it's basically saying, you have the urge to perform, do it, you can perform. And it will keep telling you something. And so there will be 2 circles on the ground, and D-Class will have to stand on one, like he's doing now. So he's just stood in both the positions where there can be a circle. Okay. Pretty sure something's supposed to be happening, but it's not. Maybe you need 2 for it, but I'm pretty sure what happens is that a performance starts, things happen, and then the D classes who are performing get a knife. This knife kills anyone instantly. It's really powerful, but obviously it's a knife, so it has to be close. So yeah, that is SCP-701. Please test on it. It's again a heavily underrated SCP. Alrighty, next up we have SCP-1162. So, this is a hole in the wall that will give random items when they take stuff out of it. Now, you'll need to have guns armed and ready when they take stuff out, because, like it says here, they can get guns from it. And if they get guns from it, instant kill them. So, we're going to see what happens now. And what did they get? What is that? Is that what I think it is? Bro. You got a flashlight? Nice. Okay, what about the... Oh, it's a UV light. Nice. What else do you get? Let's try one more thing. there you go. Really? Took damage again. Bro. Yeah, we're not having that. But yeah, you need to be careful when doing this test. But yeah, you can ask some questions and everything, just like normal. You know the drill by now. So yeah, that's SCP-162. Alrighty, final SCP in Con 2 is SCP that. What a great, you're gonna love this, but it's another one with radios, because we all love radios. We have to test the radio again, just like normal. It works, great. It's very annoying because things like this, it says 5+ capacity maximum. If it says plus, it basically means you can have infinite. You can have as many capacities as you want in this chamber. So if you bring like 7, you have to give them 7 radios, and you have to test so they all work. They probably will, but sometimes they don't. So then you would go to the viewing area, and you'd let them in. And then you'd make them interact. Well, you can ask them all the questions you want. Again, you're a scientist. Be important and intellectual. But then you'd ask them to interact with 2521. Oh, not 2521. What am I talking about? Interact with the piece of paper. Buddy. We would love for you to interact with the SCP, please. Budster, please interact with the SCP. Alright. I don't know what's happening. Okay. So, I think I get what's happening. So they've got the paper in their hand, and I'm not really sure what to do with it. Basically, you just need to copy it a bunch. Pretty sure. Or you need to put it down. It's one of the two. I've not actually done this one before. But, yeah. They'd pick it up, and they'd possibly try and solve it or something. But I'm pretty sure for this one, you have to maybe put in chat 2521. Because I know in other games when this SCP is present, you can type in 2521. And, yeah. You saw that with your own eyes, buddy. Let's get a cleaner shot of it. I might as well do it. Why not? For the funsies. Here we go. 2521. I've just been kidnapped. And you get transported here. To 2521's area. I don't know, can you? Type in 2521 in 2521. No, anything you type gets cancelled out. And when you're here, there's to forever. Or until you die of frost. So yeah, that's 252. That's why it's called. Because if you say 2521, that happens. Alright, first SCP in Con X, we have SCP-049. So, you'd line them up there, you'd be very serious with them, it's pretty serious. You know, you tell them everything they need to know, and then you bring them on in. You can see, 049 has a pretty nice thing. Right now he's, kind of camping the door. So we'd open that door, we'd open them, let them in there, and then we'd let them in here. Now right now, 049 is in the corner. And he's in what is called a calm state. So his eyes are blue/white, and it means he won't attack anyone. He's just kind of curiously wandering around, you know, just like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. However, sometimes you can enter what is called an enraged state. Now, how do we make this enraged state without me dying? That's such a great question. Here's what we do. Gotta like shoot him. Okay, it appears that does not enrage him. I'm not sure it enrages him, to be honest. But basically, he'll get angry sometimes, and that is when problems arise. That is when he can turn people into SCP-049-2, which are basically zombies. These zombies are pretty difficult to kill in packs. But that's basically 049. He's probably the least dangerous one. Hang on, he appears to be staring at some ceiling. Is that him getting angry? Is that his anger state? Hold up, we might have seen a change in his behaviour. Maybe. Nope, okay. We're gonna let our suspect leave the room. Okay. Yep, and that is SCP-049. Probably the most simple one in Connex. Alright, next up is SCP-939. This one's pretty extensive. Basically, you bring your Class Ds and you either take them this way or this way. I'm going to take them this way. But they both lead to the same thing, just on different sides. They lead to this type of room where you make them stand there, and then you tell them to enter the 939 containment. Now, this is a test that doesn't really work with one, but we'll show it anyways. This one is really a great test with multiple Class Ds, and I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, yep, 10 Class D maximum. You can have a lot of Class Ds here. So we're going to let one of them out. There we go, there's a 939. Now I'm not actually sure if he's going to leave the containment or not, but basically for a test, you'd want to let him out.
Is someone there?
Like this. You'd let the 939s out, and you just see what our test subject does.
Hello?
So for example, if we click this button here,
Someone there, someone there.
that would make a sound, and obviously they're blind, so you know, they're lured by sound. So here we go, we've got our first 939 out. Got our Class D getting pretty spooked by him. We're gonna open these doors again to let the 939s out.
Hello?
And
Someone there.
There we go, and I'm gonna do the hello. You know, spook him a little bit, make him possibly react. See, the 939 is looking directly at him.
Is someone there?
Yeah, our D class is reacting a bit. I'm hoping these 939s are going to come out eventually. But they're pretty docile. So basically, if you don't know, that sound should lure them back to their containment. Oh snap, hold on. 939 is being 939.
Show yourself!
He's getting pretty scared. But yeah, that's 939. So I'm going to go try and let him out now. But that's 939. It can be a pretty difficult test with multiple people, and with multiple people, you're basically bound to get nearly everyone dead. But yeah, it's a nice test. It's a nice test. Right, next up is SCP-2006. So, basically, what it does is, it is a mimic. So, if this Class D say here, we go into media, there are loads of pictures. You've got Clown, Frankenstein's monster, Killer, and Ghost. These can be changed by 914. 914 being a goat again. But for now, we're just going to take Killer. So, you know, we've got our people here, and we lead them into SCP-2006. Which is a huge containment zone. Look at that, that is massive. So, we'd make our Class Ds wait on this line, and, you know, we'd have a guard here waiting with them or something, or an MTF. We would go in here, we've got the gate control, and we'd open up. This will open up a massive. I mean, there we go. Got 2006 in there. Now, while 2006 is in this state, he's pretty harmless. Doesn't really do anything. I don't think he does anything at least. There we go. Look at that. 206. So basically, the reason, if you don't know, that 2006 looks like this is because 2006 is a monster that tries to scare humans. It will imitate them, and so they play Space Terror. And the monster in that is a monkey with a space helmet on. It's not very scary and not very violent. So we're gonna let him in. Oh, hold up. So we're gonna let our Class C in by first off closing the game. This will ensure that 2006 cannot escape. You'd let him in the cage, and you'd open up the gate. See? Look, he's trying to scare them. Doesn't really work. You see, he's just kind of happy. But then we have our tapes, and we place it in here, and it changes the film they're watching. So, for example, Killer changes it to Friday the 13th. So he starts watching it, starts getting intrigued by it, seeing what we're scared by. And then it starts. And that, my friends, oh, it's called Thursday 12 actually. And that, and then you change it back to Space Terror. Now you'd start watching it. I think. Maybe not. Maybe he's just Killer for ages. But this is that's 2006. One of my favorite SCPs in this game. He's amazing. But yeah, that's 2066 for you. Sorry about that. So I had some settings issues and I was accidentally trying to reset. But yeah, that's 2006. I might show more, but for now, this is just what it is. So yeah, that's 206. Next up is SCP-017. So again, you line them up, you tell them what they're facing, and then you enter it. It's SCP-017. So you then you would either, there's two things you can do, two main things. Obviously, you're a scientist, think about what you want. You know, if you've got an idea, great, go for it. But there's two main things you can do here. You can either send them in with nothing, and they will die, or like our default has got here, send them with a UV light. So when they've got a UV light, you enter them in, and you open the door. And right now, 017 can't do anything, because they're surrounded by lights. The problem arises when we do this. He will sprint towards them, but with the UV light, he does stay away from them, but as soon as it turns off, he starts immediately sprinting towards them. Now, the issue with testing without a light is the fact that they're gonna die like instantly, so like, what's the point? I'm lost for words how he just died with a light. I'm actually lost for words, but I'm gonna recontain him right here. Let's go. Yeah, I'm gonna quickly go ahead and enter. Damn it! Off the phone. Oh no, he's gone back in. There we go. He's gone back on his own, and that's 017. Alright, final one in Connex is SCP-457.
Hello?
So again, you tell them everything you need to know, and you ask all the questions you want to go, and then you let them in here. And you make sure to lock the door behind you, just like all. You then enter the viewing deck, and you'd ask them any questions you want to ask, and then you'd open 4 457's room. And 457's going to come charging out towards them. They're going to run away. If you want to help them, put on sprinklers, which will slowly... I don't know how to die there. It hasn't fallen that much. Yeah, they'll most likely die. And putting on sprinklers will slowly kill them. There's these. Just make it smaller. There we go. And it's been contained. Now there's loads of tests you can do on them. There's loads of questions you can ask, things like that. Again, just something to remember. You're a scientist. Say whatever you want. Do whatever you want, as long as it's not breaking the rules of the game. So yeah. That's 457. Now we can move on to the two final ones in lower Connex. There are two other ones, but one of them can only be got with Robux, and the other one isn't in the game yet, so I'm not going to explain them. Alrighty, so once again, you may have realised that it said lower Connex, but no picture of the containment procedures. Again, this is one of those SCPs that I don't think has one. I might be blind, but I don't think it has one. So, this is a lower Connex. So, like I said, extreme danger. Any class C that messes about, insecure. So we're not messing about on this one. This is extreme danger. So if they mess about, if they start running around, insecure. Not on the spot, insecure. So let's go. So we can bring them through here, and yeah, it's probably best to walk, but we're running because we don't really have amazing time. So you'd have some guards escorting down here, but we don't have a guard. But I can trust this class C. So you click that button, and you travel on down to 106. There's actually a camera here as well. We can see 106. Wow, even on this camera's laggy. There you go, you can see 106. These cameras are even laggy on the PC. So they're down there. So then you want to enable ladder control. That will bring up a ladder. Now here's where you want to be really damn careful. Really careful. As soon as we click this button, it will open the door. We're gonna close it basically instantly. As soon as that D-class gets taken, we're gonna close it. There we go. It gets taken, we close it. And that should, and then you deactivate it. Oh, I forgot. Oh, damn it! I completely forgot. There is a radio in here that you can give them, authorize them. You should probably ask them things like that. But right now, we're ignoring that. So he's in 106 thing. He basically just needs to find a way out. It's really simple. Most of them are very simple. They're either just a maze or a walk forward. That's normally what it is. Most people escape 106's containment. Clearly not this guy, he died. But that's 106. Keep in mind, yes, you can ask questions and stuff, but you need to be very serious with 106 and 96. They are very easy to break out, and if not maintained well, will break out. So be careful with that. Alright, so the final one that's actually in the game, which we're going to be talking about, is SCP-096. Once again, in extreme danger, so any messing about will be met with death. So, you make them line up here, you tell them everything you need to know. Then, if you want to, you'd go into the field equipment area, and you'd grab yourself a scrap boots. Then, you enter here. Now, this is where you make the Class Ds enter there. Enter into that area of the box. Yep, perfect. This is where you go up here, and look, if you try and open open this, so look, the blinders must be closed. So the blinders, you close them, are these. Look at that. So now we can't see. We can't see into it. This should close the shutters, I believe. Have a look. Yep. So they are fully locked in right now. So now we can. Right now, we're not going to let them out yet. But as we can see here, we have scramble cameras. I swear these. So we've got here, right here, and we have 096.2, just another angle. Now these are called scramble cameras because if 096's face is on them, it will scramble them, so he won't come after us. So here we go. There he is. See, look at that. He's scrambled. His face is scrambled. So we're going to make our lovely test subject go up to 096 right now and have a look at his wonderful face. There we go, boys. There we go, boys. He's not very happy. He's really not very happy. Looks like our defense is about to die. Now we need a MTF unit, if we have one, to go in there and basically have scramble goggles on, put a bag over him, and take him back to his box. So we'll close it again. And that is 096, which is the last SCP we'll be talking about in today's video. Next up is going to be breaking out the SCPs. Now, I'm going to put a disclaimer here. Do not break out SCPs as a scientist or any role that is not Class D or Chaos Insurgent in a public server. In a private server, I'm pretty sure you're allowed to do whatever you want. But in a public server, do not do it. You will get yourself banned. I got myself a 1-day ban from scientists because I had no idea you weren't allowed to do it. So I'm spreading that information now. Okay, so technically the only SCP you can break out in Con 1 is SCP-999. The thing with SCP-999 is the fact that 999 is allowed to run free, so it doesn't really mean anything. But you basically just make 999 follow you. Hello buddy, how you doing? So we try and let him help him to follow out the room. 999? No. 999, yeah, this way. Yep, you go, there we go. Yeah, you just kind of give him a nudge. No, this way. 1999. There we go. And now he's out. Again, no, doesn't really matter. He can be anywhere he wants. But if you really desperately want to break out 999, there you go. Next is SCP-035. Now, this is actually one that you can break out without having to do anything yourself. All you need to do is bring a D-class in, make them put 035 on, and then either purposely or accidentally let them break through this window and kill you, and they'll be allowed out. But if you don't want to do that, then your only real goal is to put on SCP-035 yourself. So if we get it, oh, I can't. Okay, so yeah, you can't break it out as a scientist, but again, you shouldn't be doing that. In a normal server, you should not be doing that. But as a Class D or a Chaos, you can put on 035, and that's the only way to break 035 out. So if you're doing tests on 035, be careful because the chances of a containment breach with him are pretty high. Okay, so this segment is going to be talking about 008 and 409. Both are infection SCPs. Basically, you want to run in and infect yourself. Let's give ourselves a disease. There we go. And then you want to run out the room. You'll eventually get infected with 008. So just wait. Doesn't take too long. Will eventually be a zombie. Eventually. Can we become a zombie, please? Yeah, you'll eventually become a zombie. Oh, there we go. You'll change to the SCP team. And there you go. And it works the same for 409, just infect yourself. But again, like I've said a billion times, do not do it as scientists in a normal server, because you will get yourself banned. Only do this as Chaos or Class D. Okay, so the last SCP you can technically break out in Part 2 is 173. This is very risky, but it does work. You basically just need to, bring him out of containment. Simple as that. Again, like I said a gazillion times, don't do it as a PhD. Sorry, not PhD. Scientist. There we go. He's out. Simple as that. Yeah, he's really. You basically can't do him without. You can't breach him without dying on your own. It's like I won't be shocked if it's really difficult. So yeah. Okay, next up is SCP-049. Again, don't do it as scientist, only do it as class 3 and chaos. I'm just doing it for the video. Right, so first thing you want to do is you want to grab this flower, and then you want to enter his containment zone with the flower equipped. With this, you can lure him, and he'll just follow you. He won't attack you or anything, he'll just follow you. So bring him on out. Let's go behind you. Like that. And you can stop luring. And he'll stop following you. As simple as that. That's how you break out 049. Don't actually know where he's going right now, but he's going somewhere. And something else you can do is, I'm not going to right now, but if you shoot him, he'll get angry. So, yeah, there's that. And, well, we're right next to it, so there's no need to do another segment. I'll show you 939 as well. So, breaking out 939, first off, want to let one of the 939s out. I'm only going to show it on one, but you can do it on loads if you really want to. So we're gonna let that 939 out. Gonna get our gun ready. And this one's pretty dangerous on your own. But you basically wanna
Is someone?
Okay, that just didn't work at all. Jesus.
Show yourself.
Sorry about that. It appears that the 939 just didn't want to move. Or stop. One or two. Through there. So we're just gonna, let them all out. See what happens. Bing bong bing. Hopefully some of them come out so we can shoot them. Because you basically want to shoot them to lure them towards you, and then slowly bring them around.
Show yourself.
Damn it. Just gonna open the door. Come here.
Show yourself.
And yep, not instantly, but yep, 939 is out. You can see him right there. So if you're more careful than me, you can. Oh, there he is. There he goes. You can bring him further if you're more careful than me. So yeah, that's 939 and 049. Alright, next up is 2006. This is a really funny one. It's one that I personally really love. So, for starters, you don't have to do this, but I'm going to do it. We're going to get a photo. I'm going to click Ghost. Right, then we're going to come on and let him out. So for starters, you want to do gate control. So open the gates. We've got our buddy 2006 right here. Right, and now we're gonna do gate control again. Close that door. So we need to wait for it to close. Now this is much easier chaos class. Again, here in Rogues you can do it with. Do not do this. If you're not class D or chaos, please don't. But here's what you're going to need to do. Basically, as a chaos or class D, you'd basically have a lead, and you'd be able to take him wherever you want. And then you'd be able to show him one of these tapes or pictures, and he'd transform. And that's what you do for 2006. So there we are. Next up is 017. A super simple one. You basically walk in and you shoot the light system power. Obviously, for my team, it doesn't do anything. Again, do not do this as a scientist, or any other team that's not Plastio Chaos. But Plastio Chaos will be able to destroy this light system. That will let 017 go wherever he wants, so we're just going to pretend that turn off the lights. Hold up. Yep, we're going to pretend that's the power out. We're just going to pretend that's the power out. So then we would go here. We'd open this door. And then, you know, if I did it a little bit better, they'd be out. So yeah, that is how you get rid of 017.
Hello?
Right, finally, Connex,
Someone there?
we have 457. Again, don't do it if you're a scientist or any role that is not Plastio Chaos. But when you're Plastio Chaos, you go over here, let him out. You'd help him wander upstairs.
Hello? Show yourself.
Come on, buddy.
Is someone there?
Come on, buddy. There we go. And there we go. You just kind of hold up. Just like that. You just let him out. And that's 457. Oh my god. That's 457. I'm gonna. Oh, you're joking. 457. We need to just calm down. Yep. Well, that's 457. I might as well show 106 and 96 while I'm going down here being chased. Hopefully 457 leaves me alone. God, Jesus, walking down these stairs is awful. Oh my god. This feels horrendous. Yeah, I can see why people take the elevator. Including myself. These stairs feel horrendous. But shockingly, lower Connex is not even that bad to do. So we're going to show 106 now. So let's get going. So 106, again, don't do it as scientist, do it as Plasti or Chaos. Because if you don't, then you will get a temporary ban, or even worse if you keep doing it. But what you do is you come here, you keep on coming, and I can't do it as thingy. I don't think I can. But what you do is you would have the ladder control on, and then you do the magnet. But obviously I can't because I'm scientist. But if you're not a scientist, then you would come in, you would click the magnet control, which would bring the box down. Light control, I'm not sure what that does, but we're going to ignore that. So you do the magnet control, and then you'd open the door like this, and that would let 106 out. So yeah, that's basically what you do for that, and we'll show 96 at the same time. You know, knock 3 birds out with 1 stone, and then we can move on to recontaining them, which is another ball game. That is another ball game. Right, so we've got 96 here. 96, and again, do it with Plastio Chaos, we will be banned. Oh Jesus, yeah, ignore that. There we go. So you'd walk in, and as a Plastio Chaos, you'd be able to come up here, and you'd just be able to open the box. Like right now, I can't. Like I can do the blinders and stuff, but I can't open the box. See, blinders must be closed. So I can't do that. But as Chaos, you'd be able to. And then you'd basically just walk in there, look at his face, and then run as far as possible to break him out. And that is how you break out all SCPs. And ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be the end of this video. I realised I didn't do a part on recontaining, but to be honest, I'm just awful at that, and it would take me ages to get footage on it, so I'm probably going to do a separate video on that. I'm also going to do a separate video on all of 2006's forms, because I believe you can get more from 914. So that'll be fun. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and if you did enjoy, please like and subscribe.